Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. No shoulder pets, tames that can be carried, or typical boss dinos allowed. That means no Rexes, Therazinos, or any other dinos people normally use in these fights. Equipped with official server cap saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uteranus providing that extra boost. All competitors will go into battle with food to provide a healing effect. Herbivores will have plenty of sweet veggie cakes, and carnivores and omnivores will have cooked meat. No Overseer, because the movement speed required to get through the tech cave then chase the Overseer during the fight would shorten our list by a lot. It's important to note that tames in this series aren't typically used during boss battles because of the amount of mutations it would take to make them competitive. I'll be applying around 23,000 health and 1200% melee through mutations and experience levels to all dinos that compete. This will give them all a fair shot at defeating at least one of the Guardians. It won't always be feasible to reach these stats depending on the dinos I'm using, but I will let you know the amount of mutations and levels it took in order to reach it. All competitors start out with 50 base health and melee and 40 points in everything else before I apply mutations and experience levels. Use this information and decide on your own servers if the juice is worth the squeeze. Competitors are required to fight the Megapithecus, Broodmother, then Dragon on all difficulties, starting with Gamma, then Beta, finishing with Alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass or fail system. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Sabertooth. This aggressive kitty dwells in a lot of the higher level areas on the map and is typically found alone but can also be found in small groups. This cat comes with a lot of speed, but as far as combat mounts go, they're pretty bland. This is just a straightforward creature that comes with no extra perks or buffs. In order to reach the stats that we used in this competition, the Underteeth required 50 mutations and 80 experience levels. 25 mutations and 50 experience levels went into health, and 25 mutations and 30 experience levels went into melee. Now let's see if these ferocious kittens have what it takes. The green portal was opened and the Underteeth were primed and ready to enter the frozen temple of the Gamma Megapithecus. Maneuvering the Sabertooth is refreshing. They can quickly get to where you want them to go and they're not hindered by ridiculously optimized collision issues like the majority of creatures in Ark. Of course, we'd be relying on this a lot considering they were another creature that couldn't pull the aggro away from Commander Utes. But at this level it's not as important and the Underteeth drop the ape and earn their first pass. Up next we have the Gamma Broodmother. The Sabertooth closes the gap with tremendous speed, and I'm able to let them work on the Broodmother from a distance without her aggroing on Commander Utes. I was able to even get close enough to Courage Roar them and boost their damage while staying out of her aggro range. I've done like 20 of these videos and I still don't understand the aggro mechanics. If you haven't seen previous ones, check them out because the drag weight doesn't really matter. Eventually I got bored and hopped in to help out. At the Gamma level, it's perfectly safe to tank with your Uti if your dinos are taking a pounding. But this time they pounded her and earned their second pass. Heading over to the Gamma Dragon arena, I sent the cat crew in to gather around the ankles before the first fire breath. They got there quickly, but they're another one of the creatures that just doesn't want to attack. I spent some significant time playing around with this and fought the dragon 5 times trying to figure out how to show this to you. Some creatures eventually succeed here, and on 2 attempts the Sabertooth was able to get the kill. The other 3, I ran out of time. So, I'm handing them a fail for the dragon. The blue portal was up and the killer kitties were off to the races in the Beta Megapithecus arena. As usual, the increased speed with the Beta bosses makes maneuvering slightly more challenging. I had to wind up tanking a lot of the blows with the Commander Utes during this fight while the Underteeth bit his girthy ass from behind. The Sabertooth really needs to get some TLC. They need some kind of perk or benefit that sets them apart from the rest of the carnivores on the island. Even if they don't have unique abilities, it didn't really matter against the Beta Megapithecus. He's a fairly easy boss, and the Underteeth took the big man down and earned themselves another pass. I was dreading this one, the Beta Broodmother. The Sabertooth's damage output isn't terrible, but after all the fights so far I just had a weird feeling that it wouldn't be enough. I kept my distance at first, but noticed the Araneos were dealing a boatload of damage. If I was going to keep my distance for the entire duration of the fight, then I'd have to put all the Underteeth on aggressive and occasionally whistle to attack the spiders so that they could keep killing the outside threats from the minions. The downside to this is you take away your overall DPS towards the Broodmother. And DPS is king in this fight. A Sabertooth with a cap saddle is going to take the same damage from the Broodmother's attacks as a Rex with a cap saddle. So you're basically on a timer. There's nowhere to hide from her, there's nowhere to gain an advantage, so you need to basically kill her before she kills you. I tried it both ways during this fight and had the most success with getting in and helping the Underteeth out. But both fights end the same way, with the Beta Broodmother trying to get a piece of my sweet ass. Her sister is gonna be pissed. And the Underteeth get another fail. I fired up the red portal and Commander Utes was ready to lead the combat kittens into the Alpha Megapithecus arena. I think we may have had only 1 or 2 competitors lose against the Alpha Megapithecus, but you can bet I was worried that the Sabertooths would be joining that not-so-elite club. I kept myself close to avoid them taking as much damage as possible, but their speed combined with knockback from the Megapithecus made it difficult to shield them completely. Commander Utes and several of the Underteeth took some significant damage, but ultimately it wouldn't be enough for the Megapithecus to succeed, and we put him into the dirt, capping off the night with another pass. Over to the scoreboard, the Underteeth earned themselves a bronze boom medal. Again, gold is for clearing all the bosses, and silver is for making it to the alpha stage for all three. If you haven't had the opportunity yet, I've added memberships to YouTube as well as started my Patreon. YouTube memberships offer badges next to your name based off your longevity as a member and some sweet emojis that I made to be used in comments and live streams. The Patreon members mirror the YouTube stuff, and if you're a member of either, you're going to get access to the Discord once I get up and running. Patreon is preferred as YouTube takes a 30% cut of what you pay and Patreon only takes 10%. I'll also eventually be posting vlogs connecting more on a personal level over on my Patreon, so check it out. If you're not into that sort of thing, I still love you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I can't begin to describe how amazing this journey has been so far. I'm eternally grateful for everyone here and love interacting in the comments with you. Please like and subscribe to help this community grow. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.